Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and today is the city overview for January 2025. A lot has happened since the last update here in December of 2024. So we're just going to jump right in and we're going to get started talking about everything. We're going to start in this corner like we always do and we're going to work our way around. And then we're going to talk about the expansion table here because that's some of the biggest changes that have happened. And so we're just going to get started in this section right over here. But this section here, this base plate at least has remained the same. I'm very happy with the fountain here and all of the foliage behind it. I think all of this looks really, really good and I could not be happier with it. And you'll notice that the base plates right next to it are actually empty. Those used to have the police station and the boutique hotel on it. I moved those over to the expansion table and we will see that in just a minute here. But across the street from that is the bonsai tree and the train station as a whole. I really like this area, although I am still missing the pieces for this. Lego has not shipped them yet, unfortunately, so still waiting on that. But the museum is looking great. I really love how that looks, and I really like my statue out in front of it. I think that's growing on me a lot, especially when you look at it from a distance. I think that looks really, really good. And I'm happy with the density of vehicles in this area. You know, there's some Speed Champions ones, some Ideas ones, a couple gift with purchases, and some really old ones as well. And then the Soapbox Racer from the City line of 2025 sets here. This was just a little free promo when I went to the Lego store recently, but I'm happy with it. I think it looks good, and it's a nice little SpongeBob reference as well. And coming through here, so this is all empty space here, and I've talked a couple of times about how I want to change this area. So I won't talk about that too much today because this is just an overview. So if you want to check out that content, make sure to see one of the other videos on the channel. But over here is the farm, and I really, really love how this looks. And the wheat field looks great. The details look amazing. I'm very happy with all of this here. The community gardens over here look great, and the farmer's market looks good as well. I am still short on the pieces to make the other two, so that's why I haven't done that yet. But let's watch the train go over the bridge here. And I think that looks really, really good. I'm extremely happy with all of this area here. And you'll actually notice some trees here, finally. The two on the left are pretty standard. This one is a very common one now in the Lego community because of the fern elements, which I do use in the median, but I decided to use some for the tree there. And I think that's a really nice design of tree, especially if you look at it from the right angles. And then over here in the middle is the tree that was inspired by the A-frame cabin. I made a video about the 3 different types of trees that you're seeing right now, just to kind of help give you guys some ideas for tree designs as well. And the right design right here, the one that's not complete, was inspired by Brick Sculpt, actually. So shout out to him and go subscribe to him if you haven't already. He makes incredible content. He just happened to show up on my feed recently, and I've been loving his content ever since. He gets really technical, and I actually really appreciate that because it's very informative, and I think it's really beneficial for building stuff like this. But that tree looks great, and so if you want to see an in-depth look at each of those trees and how they're made, go check out that video, which I'll put in the top right now. And also for that one in the right in specific, if you want to see the completed version, check out Brick Sculpt's channel. He makes great stuff. Over here, the mountain looks the same, unfortunately. Well, I mean, the bottom half looks good, but the top half is non-existent. And that is simply because the pieces that also are from the train station order, they haven't come yet. So nothing I can do about that, unfortunately, for the time being. But the train is going through the tunnel right now, which is really cool. And now over here, this whole section looks great. I have not made many changes to this because I love it so much. I do wish the bank was closer to the front so I could see it better, but you can still see it when you look this way from the front of the room. And so I'm not too mad about it, but I would like to move that up to the front one day. So maybe that's a change that happens in the relatively near future. So stay tuned for that and click subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you haven't done that already. I highly recommend you do that because there's really awesome stuff coming. And also, there's a bunch of cool Easter eggs and cool techniques that you're not going to want to miss out on. So definitely do both of those so you don't miss out. And then over here, this section is relatively the same here. But I think this all looks really, really good. And then this is where it starts to fall apart, actually. And so what I mean by that is the Jazz Club is over here and the Sanctum's over here, but beyond that, over here is a mess. And this is that little construction site that I had in the corner here, and the garbage truck is not even on the road, and then there's bags of pieces here, and the overhead crane from the train yard is here, and there's just a bunch of stuff going on that is not ideal. And this section of track doesn't even have ballast on it, and so that's actually because we recently redid the train yard, and I'm very happy with this. Actually, I will put that video in the top right as well, because I think that looks really, really good, and I'm very happy with it. The train yard the track used to come through here, and then it switched off into that siding, and then it switched off to the main line on the right. But I decided to move everything over to help the Orient Express run a little bit better. And it does still not like the super tight curves of official Lego track, but it is definitely better. And so this whole area here, I think, looks great. I am still deciding on the overhead crane. I haven't come to a conclusion about whether I want to put that back or if I want to put that in a bag and just put it in storage, essentially. So haven't decided on that yet, and so that's why this whole area is a mess here. And I was recently working on designing all of the details in here as well, but that is why this whole area is a mess here. But I think it looks really, really good, and I am extremely happy with this whole area as a whole, because there's a lot of potential here and there's a lot of good stuff going on. And then over here next to the Sanctum is my custom hardware store that remodeled recently, and so I think that looks really good. And over here is more of the same, and then coming through here is again more empty space, but there's a lot of room for custom buildings and custom stuff, which is good to see. And then my custom Lego store and custom flower shop as well. I think both of those turned out really well. Obviously the flower shop is not done, but that is something that we worked on recently and I'm extremely happy with. And then the train is coming around the corner here, which is good. And so now the train station is over there, which we'll get to in just a second. But this area is actually something that I want to talk about pretty in depth here. So let me kind of walk around a little bit and I will get you guys a different angle. So we were just over there talking about all of that stuff. And so now the expansion table here, we are on the expansion table itself. The expansion table starts right here, actually. So everything to the left of my finger here is on the expansion table, and then everything to the right is the original city table as well. And so it's pretty big. It is 40 inches wide by 80 inches deep, and so, or 80 inches long, and so that's a pretty decent length and size, which is great. So there's a lot of room to grow here. And the train station, again, like I had talked about, pieces aren't in yet, so I can't do much about that. I am designing a way to get to each of the platforms here, like either a staircase from above or a ramp at each end. Haven't decided on that yet, so that is something to look out for. But over here on the expansion table, I think this looks really, really good. I placed the 2025 Tudor corner over here. I'm very happy with how this all looks, and I really built out this area. I focused on it a lot right when the Tudor corner came out, and so I'm very happy with it. It's been out for a couple of weeks now, but I think it looks really, really good, and it's been growing on me ever since. The more I look at it, the more I like it. And I put my Holiday Main Street set here, and this is where all of those buildings went from over there. So the police station is here, the boutique hotel is here, and the fountain is here, and all this stuff. And then this road bridge here is over here as well. And I think this looks great. Let me give you guys a different angle of it all. Yeah, I think that looks really, really good, and I'm very happy with the cobblestone path. It is a lot of gray, especially dark gray, but I don't have any ingot tiles to add into here, so the quarter round tiles are going to have to do for now. But very happy with how this all looks. And now coming over to here is where the ocean is going to be. There's going to be a pier and a beach. Where each of those things are going to go, I haven't decided yet, but this front section is going to be water. And I would like to get the Ideas Lighthouse and put that here. I think that would be a really nice focal point for this corner. But that is it for the city itself. I know I've been kind of skimming each of everything. I haven't been giving a whole lot of detail because every single thing in the city has a video attached to it giving specific details about everything. So if you're interested in any of that and you're new, make sure to check out those previous videos. And then over here, right at the front where we started, is the Palace Cinema and my custom pizza shop and townhouse over here. very happy with each of those and how they turned out. And across the street is the corner kiosk, which came with the Tudor corner. And so that is almost everything for the everything on the table. This section here is just a nice siding for the Orient Express. So then the main line is clear, so I can have a different train running around. So that is good to see. And then also, since the last city update, I did get curtains in for the tables. So now you don't see all of my bins and other stuff under the table. So it's just a cleaner look. Everything looks better. And I'm very happy with this. I think it looks great, and it gives a nice clean look too. So even if I come down low, you're not distracted by all of the stuff down here. Your eyes just come up and focus on what is actually important, which is the city. And so I'm very happy with this. I think the city is in a great spot right now. And so the channel is just about 10 months old, and I started uploading consistently in June. So it's about 7.5 months now. And so I could not be happier with where we're at, but there's a lot of room to grow. There is a lot of work to do, and even more work to do as well. But I'm very happy with everything and how it is turning out. And so if you guys agree, make sure to like the video and subscribe. That's going to wrap up me talking here in today's video. I'm going to let the train go for an extra minute here, and I'm going to keep the camera rolling. So definitely stay tuned for the remaining couple minutes of the video here so you don't miss out on that. But if you have any feedback for me on what you want to see in the city and what your favorite part is, make sure to drop a comment down below. But once again, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to let the train go for an extra minute here, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.